Airbnb is performing an experiment in the state of Oregon in which they hide the names of renters until after a booking is complete. This is being done to specifically combat anti-black racism in which applicants are rejected for having black-sounding names. Do you think this is a positive development? Would you like to sleep in a household that would have rejected you had they suspected you were black? Is this kind of blatant discrimination actually beneficial for your safety and well-being? What about in terms of job interviews? So Airbnb is doing this very small experiment, and they aren't the only ones who've done similar things, in which like you hide the names and the faces of person who's going to be using your service because of this. Uber did this years ago because drivers would just cancel their trips if they saw like a black sounding name or like when they used to have like the faces, you could show like a profile picture, right? And they would cancel that. So the Uber started masking that stuff. But yeah, this is a little bit different because you're not just like getting driven from point A to point B, right? You're staying in someone's house. So yeah, how do you feel about all this? We'll start with Black American Made for introductions.
Yeah, I think Uber would be different just because you're like having to share a space with these people and you're like kind of like at their mercy in the moment. But like I think as far as like Airbnb goes, I think that would be. Yeah, no, I think that's super preferable because at the end of the day, if it's a dope house and I need somewhere to stay and I need an affordable price and it's available to me, that would suck to not be able to like stay there, even if the people who own it are racist. Like, I don't care about you. I'm finna stay at your house. I'm finna be eating in the refrigerator, eating all the food. Like, it's gonna be a good time. And as long as you like, do what's within your consequence, you clean up after yourself, or whatever. Like, I think it's fine. Like I wouldn't mind staying in someone's house who I found out was racist. I don't know.
Okay. Dream.
I feel like there's like two perspectives you can go on. It's like, number one, you can go off the perspective of like, yeah, I should be able to go wherever I want to, and racism is bad and they shouldn't allow my race to be a factor why they don't pick me. And then number two is like, well, I'm not trying to give anybody money that doesn't respect who I am. So if they don't want to pick me because of my race, then that's good for me because now I don't get to support them. And then my money doesn't go to racist people. So we can talk more about that later.
Let's go to is it Smooth? I think you got your mic is on something. Okay.
Is that the okay? I thought that was your washing machine.
I don't know. Well, okay. Well, I know. Well, I don't know what that was, but okay. Let's move forward. Let's go to Beamer.
Well, I mean, to me, it's just kind of basic math where it's like, I don't want them to know my name. Why not? Like, you can call me Mr. 4.9 stars. That's what you can call me. And hopefully you give me 5. And if you give me 1, I have a good enough average, you ain't gonna touch me. And I don't see the benefit in them knowing my name. So I think this benefits everybody. I think everybody, regardless of race. But I mean, obviously, what D10 says is the case, right? It's true. I'm saying all this, right? Some people can view this as cope, right? Because ideally, we shouldn't have to do this, right? Ideally. But even in an ideal circumstance, I only want to tell people my name who I want to tell my name. And that's it.
J0e Lewis.
Yeah, I guess I got to appeal to chat because I think we're probably going to be in agreement, and chat's full of dumb fucks that don't read and don't really care about their conditions around them. So like historically, right? I'm gonna handhold, like I said, I'm on no hand holdings arc, but we'll hold some hands for a second because there is the dumb fucking chat that's gonna say something fucking stupid, and then everybody's gonna dogpile them. So I'm just trying to save this person, okay? So whoever you are, Brento Box, I'm here to help you. All right, so like historically, right? There's bias in the United States, and it's very like overt and clearly visible. Over time, right? Over time, stay with me, due to changes and like social guidance of what's acceptable behavior and the law, these type of biases waned over time. So, and also just became popular to publicly display, right? However, and this is probably the exact same thing that everybody's going to say tonight, subtle introverted expressions and opinions towards individuals cannot be easily legislated or targeted as being socially acceptable in a wider society. Why the fuck do you think people are still arguing about little Timmy? So like this type of implicit bias is still a reality in society. Now, like, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and school a motherfucker on the definition of implicit bias. You can go fucking Google it or read a fucking book, right? Now, like, for the Airbnb shit, for me, it's like, yeah, like rejecting people is an undesirable outcome. Like, and everybody, like, if anybody did any type of research on this shit, you probably read about the Harvard study that showed that people with African sounding names were 16% less likely to be accepted. But then on top of that, if you were to be rejected, it's like 3 times more. It's like for the host end of it, I think it's something like 3 times it's like a 1 in 3 shot they'll actually like rent the room out or some shit like that. I don't remember. But generally speaking, right, like I think keeping names concealed until the point of confirmation of purchase is a decent remedy. Like we'd want to have like more research on this, which is why I think Oregon's doing this 2-year thing. Do it for 2 years, see how it works. But other companies have been doing this for significantly longer. So personally, I think you can probably just make this a company-wide thing. And hey, after 2 years, if you don't think it's going good for business, and you can do what all these companies do and just change it back. Like it doesn't have to be a permanent solution if you don't think it's a desired outcome. But by and large, like I think for most people, it's totally fine.
Let's go, Azzy.
I overall agree with Joe. I don't want to reiterate any of his points.
Pyro.
Yeah, no, we all almost in agreement on this one. Like, they don't need to know my name. And like reading up on this, like, yeah, it seems like this comes from like a 2019 case where like 3 black people were discriminated on because, like, surprise, surprise, like people were using their names in the photos they gave them before booking to be like, I don't want to I don't want to rent out to these, and then they just hit cancel on that. They don't need to know my name until after they accept my money. And if they don't want to accept Mr. how many ever stars I got, they don't have to. And that's what I think it is about that. If they want to have it based on ratings, I'm good with that. Like, we see this as a problem in a lot of other fields. Like, we can mention Uber, we could mention hiring practices, we could just mention all of these things where it seems like this seems to be an issue. So it's like, yeah, let's start testing some, actual solutions out. Oregon, Airbnb, hey, we got some good fucking testing grounds. It's not gonna sink their company if something goes wrong. Like, let them try it out. And if they succeed, God bless them, because Airbnb was like the progressive first step. And if they fail, they'll be erased with the rest of the failures of history. So, like, yeah, I'm all for this. Let's go.
So let's go to Smooth.
So, not to sound like a broken record here, but I agree with them making this change. I wish they would change the fees though. Some fees is crazy. But other than that, yeah, I'm for this.
Okay. We have Django LeBur, who's just joining us. We haven't had him in quite a long time. Like, for one reason or another, we haven't been able to make it work until. That was weird. Until tonight. So Django, thank you for coming back. It's nice to see you. Your hair looks good. I actually like your hair a lot. I don't know. It's looking nice. So putting that out there. How you doing?
I'm good. I a little late, but apparently perfectly timed to get an intro. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I didn't actually do much to my hair, so I'm glad you like it.
That's cool. Anyway, yeah. So it was the first topic. Thoughts?
Yeah, I tried to find a few things that I would think could go wrong with this, but I mean, it seems for the most part it's gonna be all right. If it works, it works. They can put it in. I can't really think of much reason not to think that if they implemented that, it would be anyway dangerous that the person doesn't know. Because I assume Airbnb still has all the information. If someone really wanted to get around it, they could make a new account, put a different name, probably get around some stuff. So. Seems all right for me.
Okay, so we don't all agree. because I disagree with this. I don't see why you guys have all said the same thing. Like, well, except for Black American Made. Yeah, like
I give two perspectives.
I don't want to sleep at a person's place that is racist. I don't want to like put myself, or like, let's say if I'm traveling with a loved one who's also a minority, well, they can be white and they can still be in danger like that. Like, I don't want to be in a place where if they don't want Black people there, that's okay. I will accommodate them by being somewhere else, right? They are not the only place that I can put my body, right? They're not the only place where I can find food that I'm gonna ingest. I don't know what these people do, right? I don't know anything about them. Why as Black people should we subject ourselves to that? So like no, like imagine me if I had kids, traveling with my kids, and I'm in some place where these folks like don't like Black people or are hostile to Black people. Why would I do that? Instead, I'd actually like them to reject me. If they don't want me there, that's okay. I want to be rejected. That works for me.
Yeah,
I think that there's like the differences, and this is like a real life. This is applying to my real life right now. Like, I'm in the middle of like planning a trip with some friends, and I'm the friend that always ends up doing all the work and then just tells people to have their money together. That's who I am. So I'm trying to find like a crazy place because I'm like, we're getting a little older. We still broke, but we like less broke than we used to be. So I'm like, let's go big. Let's find some place that's got like a hot tub. Let's find some place that's got like, I don't know, just all the works, pool table, the whole thing. So I'm looking for that right now, and that would really suck to find the perfect place, and like just not be able to go. Like, it's not just like, oh, I want to be in this location. Like, I want to be in this place specifically, and I think that, and I really don't care about your personal feelings regarding that. I have the money, I qualify for this place, and I want it for my own interest. Like, if your personal views on it.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Like, I don't give a damn they're uncomfortable. Look, I don't want to make this system, right, of Airbnb like a nice little refuge for racist people. Like, make them feel uncomfortable, alienate them, and also, first off, if I book the reservation, right, and I pay, and then they see my name at that point, and then they see that I'm Black and they want to cancel me, then cancel me then. It's okay. It might lead to derogatory marks in your account, right? It might be some detriment on your side. Maybe you'll get unlisted after doing this enough times. Maybe. I'm assuming
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times, right? So be it. Look, I book, you cancel me. Joe books, cancel him. Boom, Azzy, boom. Look, your listing is gone. Deal with it. Like, they didn't really need the money anyway. Think about it. They'll be fine. They can always sell the property. I don't feel bad for them.
I mean, it's like you letting someone stay in your house, like, no matter who that person look like. If they not up to your standards of cleanliness, hygiene, like, you shut the fuck up for that rate. And if they can't shut the fuck up on their racist ass beliefs for that rate, and congratulations, like B More said, y'all about to get one down the crapper.
But I will say personally, I don't rent rooms. I rent the place. Me personally. Yeah. So it's like, I'm not trying to stay with anybody. I just personally. So I'm getting the spot, and usually there's nobody there when I arrive.
Yep.
So I understand that Airbnb is an affordable option for others. So you can get a room, get a better rate. Sometimes it's just in transit. So I don't want to rule it out for people in general, but I think my overall take is fuck. Let's
also
let's progress and let's not cater to idiots, right?
Also, if I get to a place and it's like I personally don't feel safe just by looking at it and being like, oh, this is the room I'm staying in, Mr. Confederate Joe. I don't have to stay there, bro. Like, my personal safety comes first.
Like, by yourself or somebody's in there?
What do you mean you don't have to stay there? You're gonna have. I mean, you're gonna foot the bill if you don't stay there after already there. Like, there's like a 24 hour
like
what's his name? Too, right?
If it's a personal safety thing where it's like I booked this place and it's not like, because I'm not like Beamer, I'm not fucking rich. I can't afford to like rent out an entire house, and I'm renting out a space, and I get there and it's like either the place don't look right or I'm not feeling the people. I'm not putting my personal safety at risk. I will foot that bill. Maybe some other people don't feel that way, but like I know for me personally, it's like
I agree with you, and you would do that, but that's like a luxury you have that others don't. Like, that's money, right? So a lot of people are really poor, trying to at least have some fun with their life or visit family, and then they rent out Airbnb places. And to Prime's point, this is really like a poor person's issue, right? That can't afford to find a or to add on to what Prime said, because Prime said, I don't want people that is racist, and I don't want to give my money to racist people, and for my safety, I don't want to be at a racist person's house because of extra racism that I might, have to endure while I'm there, right? Just in case. But then that's kind of like a luxury that people who can afford better places, right? So it might be the case that this person's place that is the most affordable that you can go to is also a racist person, and you can only go to that affordable place if they don't see your name first, right? So, and some people is like, yeah, the person might be racist, but I'm willing to take that risk because otherwise, I'm out of a place and I can't go to the place that I wanted to. And so people always have this cost benefit analysis. They always do is like, sure, I can go to this dangerous neighborhood, but I really want to go to that party, so I'll just go to that party because I really wanted to. Same
I
thing
didn't
with,
assume
like,
every racist person was like a full-on Klan member. Like this is like a lynch setup. I assume like Joe was speaking to, like a level of implicit bias. Like you're just annoyed. Like, oh, you're that walk to the other side of the street
One
type of
those.
racist.
Yeah.
So
like,
you just gonna be
listen,
pissed off.
like,
Like
I
I wouldn't
wasn't-
stay in a
yeah,
place
I
that
agree.
like has a killer involved. Like there's like
I'm gonna keep it
You
real,
don't
with
know,
you,
right?
Like my fucking my house is for sale right now. This room that I'm in right now is on the fucking market. The entire house is on the market. But you want to know what I do? Because I understand implicit bias, the thing. I keep my black ass in here when they come for every single open house, because I know once they see my black face, by some intention or not, that price is not going to be there for their asking. And is that a little fucked up? I mean, I guess. But hey,
It's
maybe
the
you
game.
shouldn't fucking, like, it's the fucking game. Like,
the game.
on top of that too, like, I guess I'm kind of confused. Like, we understand the floor, but hey, interacting with racists is probably like an undesirable outcome. I don't know why we have to keep reminding ourselves like that's the floor. Like, I think that, like, as mentioned, that like racism now in 2022 functions in a much more subtle, nefarious way. Like, sure, you're gonna have some people who just hard R you, like in a Yelp review or some shit, but hey, this is why. Like, this is why they have those, like, this is why, like, we understand the overt stuff is socially unacceptable. Like, there was that one dude in Jersey, up in North Jersey, or maybe it was South Jersey, I don't know, they basically look the same to me, where like he basically called this dude like a monkey in the N-word, and then he's like, come find me and square up. You know what the community did? They showed the fuck up, and all the righties are like, I can't believe they're committing like all this violence in front of this individual's house. And it's like, look, if you're an overt racist piece of shit, and then you say, hey, come see me at my place, you're gonna have people show up. Like,
jump around and find out.
it's like, we've accepted that calling black people the N-word in public is socially unacceptable. I in case somebody forgot that. But at the same time, like, if you do that, there's gonna be consequences. It's like, and there's no such thing as like white solidarity on that shit in public. Like, if well, depending on where you live, maybe. But
now remember, I agree with y'all. I agree with y'all. But since we're all in agreement, I want to go I want to dig into what Prime said, because we're
not all in agreement.
No, but we're not with you. But I'm saying most people here, like, and so I'm going a little deeper just to see do y'all believe that, like, do you believe that it can't be mutually beneficial to financially support a racist? Like, if you need something and a racist person sells it, is it like, do you feel like you can't purchase it? Like, you just gonna go without?
We eat at Chick-fil-A. What are you talking about, bro?
I'm not talking about
don't eat at Chick-fil-A because of that.
Hey, Bam.
I mean, there's also a lot of gay people. There's a lot of gay.
Hold on, Smooth says something. It needs quiet, so I don't want to cut y'all off.
Hey, so I'm gonna answer this in the realest way possible. If you selling a good for $50 and the racist person got it for $20, I'm probably finna walk my black ass over there and buy it for $20, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, let's not sit up here and pretend.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was telling you.
We don't need to sit here. We don't.
I need that $30. I need that $30.
Yeah, like, thank you, Smooth. Like, we don't need to sit here and pretend like it's a moral, ethical decision when you buying shit. If the price is good, my nigga, the price is good.
Y'all
And
believe in
also,
black?
and
Now,
also
like-
like if it's like, yo, I can't eat, like I can't even get that shit anywhere else. It's just at this one store. And I know like Buckeye Joe's about to say some buck-eyed shit. Like, you know what? I'm gonna put my buck-eyed headphones in because like I need this product. I need it. I've
That's-
had to do that several times, like pawn shops, grocery stores, and shit. It's like I need a certain product that they only sell here, and I'm not about to cart my black ass 25 miles out to the supermarket in Cheektowaga for. I'm sorry. You say your racist shit and check me out, and I'll be on my black ass way.
That's what I was telling
I mean,
Prime.
as somebody who bought or tried to buy guns, like I tried to buy a couple shotguns a couple years ago. Man,
Thank
I had
you.
to stomach, I had to stomach some shit. I'm just
Thank
gonna keep it real. Like, especially gun. Like, listen, apparently, like what I learned about gun shopping in Jersey, black people don't go gun shopping in Jersey because every time I walked in there, I felt that I can feel my presence in this space because everybody's being weird to me. It's like it's not like the overt like they're got themselves a knit. It's just like this little stuff like we don't see a lot of your kind over here, and it's like what?
Wow, are you
What I'm
in
getting is none of
danger?
y'all willing to pay a premium to buy black.
I'm happy Joe
Yeah,
did it
not
because
worth
this
it
is what
to
I
me.
wanted to bring up as soon as Bam brought it up. But I want to take it one step further, right? There's a certain tier of products that are extremely good. For example, LaRue rifles. And the owner is a far-right extremist, anti-vaxxer. He's the works. He's the absolute works. But guess what? These motherfuckers shoot perfect out the box. And look, the racists got him. So I gotta get them too. Like, so it's like y'all can go ahead and expect the cops to have y'all back. But with anything the racist guy's buying to defend himself, I'm gonna let you know I got that shit too.
But
And,
you wouldn't
y'all
pay an
can-
extra
y'all do
$100
you.
to get it from a black-owned
Here's the
gun
problem
store?
though. At the end
Not
of the
anymore,
day,
bro.
at the end of the day, this product is manufactured by the racists. So I'm literally gonna pay $100 to the black dude who's flipping it on me. He paid the racist already. There's no winning. I'm just gonna buy a steak from the racist and cut the $100 off. Why? Why am I
Listen,
gonna do $100?
listen,
Pity
I'm
dollars.
poor.
That's
No, like
good.
I'm poor, bro. Like I'll give my black businesses all the money I can, but if their product is too expensive, I'm gonna have to look at other options because I'm gonna want to make my $200 last. Now, if they want me to pay $200 for a product I can get somewhere else for $100, ain't no
Yeah.
way. But what I will do is take that extra $100 and buy a couple more products on my black business. Cause like, yeah, I'm only there for the one product.
So
Okay, Trevor, I have a question. I have a question for you, and Beamer might know the answer to this, or might have the same answer too. Because I have a thought. Like, okay, so you're just trying to get a Mossberg and some attachments for your Mossberg. That's all you're in there trying to do. And this owner is saying some crazy shit about black people, crazy shit about riots. But somewhere in your heart, we're like, I could probably haggle this guy down.
You already know what
if
I do.
just play the game.
You already
Do
know
you
what
think
I
it's
do.
okay? Do you think it's okay, like in the face of like overt racism, if you know that if you just sweet talk him and you can haggle him down, is that something you think you could do?
Who you talking to?
Yeah.
Joe, you already
Just
know
say
I've done
generally,
this.
anybody answer
Joe, this is a fucked up question because I've done this shit before. I've literally walked in, heard some bullshit.
Say MAGA,
That's
MAGA, Trump. Let's
I'm
go.
like, damn, pull out the emergency MAGA hat out of my trunk of my car, come back into the store, and then proceed to get a discount.
Like it's a fire extinguisher.
You gotta rip it out of the sealed package.
Use one of the good ones.
And then
I see
bro,
it, boy.
deals I've never heard before.
Listen,
Deals
thank
here, deals
you.
there. You're one of the good ones. Oh yeah, how much for that Mousebreak 590? 400? Damn, that's
I-
70 bucks off. Let's
I've
get it.
done
Let's
it on
take
the-
that. Let's take that.
I've done it on the work site to get a raise, bro. Like, yeah, hell the fuck yeah.
No,
if
it-
you gonna tell me your stupidity's gonna lend me to get a better deal, fuck yeah. I get more money, fuck yeah. I get more product, fuck yeah. Go ahead, you go on your ancestors rate, bro. I watch enough Boondocks to know exactly what Uncle Ruckus would say. I'm gonna tag along with you, and then when I walk out there with that deal, I'ma giggle like a schoolgirl, cause that's
Yeah.
all I
It's a
care
weird-
about.
It's crazy. None
It's
of
a
y'all in
weird
here buy black.
duality though, right? Like people talk
No,
about
don't
code
say
switching.
that.
Who said I didn't buy black? I told
That's
you
weird.
specifically,
What the
like I
hell?
would go with my extra money and buy like that all the other products. Like
Sure, but
I'll
say,
buy
like,
black.
theory,
like, to
for
pay like a
transitive
slight
property,
premium.
right?
Buy
Through
black is-
transitive property, like if somebody hates black people, then you are technically buying black. It's just like it's the other side of it, you know? I don't know.
What did you just say?
Well, I don't know,
I just-
man.
I
I
just
don't
think
that
we're
one.
hurt.
Let's
I
go.
tried to say
Oh,
it.
Lord.
Bro,
Let-
you that crazy shit?
Let's
was
try.
that?
Let's try to go
Don't
to.
let, don't let that shit bleed
No,
over.
it's like, so I do have a point though. I do have a point, memes aside. Like
It's somewhere
there
in there.
is a level of code switching that's kind of interesting to me. And that like in the face of like things like anti-black racism, implicit or explicit bias, there's like always this sort of like question, at least for me, that juggles in my head of like, do I let this rock for the sake of getting through the interaction, or do I do the pushback that's necessary, or like in the level of like social acceptance?
Like
That's why I brought up the monster.
You're talking about like
question.
sit down protests, right? Where people
No, we're not
like,
talking about protesting.
no,
It-
I'm
it's-
Yeah.
saying it to the same effect, right? Like you are wanting to buy from this white owned business that doesn't like you or doesn't want you there, but you're doing it for some type of moral cause or whatever, or
I
Well,
don't think
no, I'm
moral.
saying-
I think just
or
profitable.
for convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
convenience.
No,
'cause-
Joe, am I understanding you correctly? Like, if you're hearing some bullshit occur, like how much, like, do you go with the flow to get the most out of it, as in maybe financially or just skate by, or do you confront it head on? And I will say there's a calculus in it going on, right? Like where if this person is like actively oppressing someone, right, actively pushing someone down, then maybe I would interfere. But if I hear a group of people just saying some bullshit, and I'm about to approach this person for a damn deal or something, like I might just relax. Because here's the thing, I could choose to escalate the situation, right? I don't get to pick how far that goes half the damn time. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's better for me to let it ride out. I live in a neon white location. The shit probably glows from the moon, and I can't deal with escalating every damn time I run into some bullshit. That's why you got to keep that emergency MAGA hat on, and you got to keep that glizzy on you.
See,
And
I
go.
agree with B more, because like that, like keeping the MAGA hat on, like keeping my black ass silent actually helped me. I had this happen in Syracuse, blue as fuck New York, where like this white dude
What?
got drunk at a TGI Fridays, and on my behalf during like 2016, he's like arguing with this Trump supporter, and it's like this dude gets racist. This dude starts calling him like a N-word lover, starts calling me an N-word, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna just eat my steak, because when we leave, and like I know this is gonna escalate, and it escalated, and like this dude trying to follow us out the mall. I'm like, listen, brother. I put on like my little bit of Tennessee. I'm like, listen, brother. I understand you. My friends here are a little bit drunk. Like, I get it, man. Like, Hillary Clinton ain't good for this country. I don't like her either. But you know what? Like, we gonna see what we
Calm them
gonna see.
down,
The
probably.
elections. Yeah, like
So,
I calmed them down.
I got
And
it.
it's like-
I want to get some other people in here. Azzy, and I think Dream wanted to say something previously, but Azzy, like, what are you thinking about all this? Azzy, like, I feel like we might be on a similar page here, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Go ahead.
I agree with the premise of not giving racist, because I know how economics works, and I'm not gonna fund racism, unfortunately. But at the same time, if the racists own everything, if they're the majority market share, then it's a barrier to entry. So I have to do what I have to do in order to make sure that I'm able to be successful or spend my like Black American made. If I'm trying to go to a certain place, but all the racists have all the Airbnbs, unfortunately, there's certain bullets you have to bite in order to make sure you get certain opportunities. But that doesn't mean you compromise on your integrity and your morals. If somebody says something racist, check them.
But hold on. It's
gotta
like
pick your checks. Gotta pick your checks.
first of all, I don't know why people are acting like Airbnbs are the end all be all and like accommodation, right? It's not.
They're not.
Right?
But
Exactly, right? Okay, so we can establish that they're not. And so to directly like put yourself in that, I mean, if you're renting the whole house, I guess that maybe it changes the calculation somewhat.
Yeah, that's what
But
I was
still-
talking about. I didn't even know you could
but-
rent rooms.
But even
Yeah.
then,
I thought it was always.
but even then, I still don't want to give people my money. If they don't want me there, that's okay. I don't want to give them my money. There are other accommodations there, right? Airbnb
those
doesn't
the worst?
not necessarily be the cheapest or anything like that. I think you guys are like trying to design a situation where okay, there's limited options and there's one spot, right? First of all, if this place is so limited, right? It's some like bumfuck nowhere town, right? I don't know why you as a Black person going there in the first place. Any which way, right? But like there's limited spots, right? And this room that's available to be rented, right? It happens to be the cheapest one there, and so I had no choice out of my hands. But most of the time, wherever you're going, there are plenty of options as to where to go, where to park yourself, right? And explore those other options. Explore those other options.
I would disagree with you there. I disagree with that.
I wasn't describing the situation being like this is the only one. I'm saying this is the one I want. Like this has like a big bar area. This has like island kitchen. This one has the pool table. This one has the hot tub. Like this is the one I want, and it's at an affordable rate.
It's not. Let's not look at it as the only one. Let's look at it as this is the best one, right?
Yeah.
So if the best available option to you just so happens to be owned by a racist, and the best means it's closest to where you want, like the destination and tourist spots, wherever you are, it's closest to your mama's house or closest to the funeral that you're gonna go to. So that saves you money on gas, money on transportation. It's close to the supermarket, so it saves you even more money, right? And so there's a lot of money savers in other ways other than directly spending the money on this specific spot. So when you look at it that way, and if you don't have the privilege of choice, meaning that you literally have to, because of your budget and how much money you make, choose the cheapest available option to you all times, if not most times. And it's not like a $1 or $2 difference. It's more like $50 to $100 differences, per night. If it's that situation, then I can see definitely taking a risk of, staying with a racist place. But to your point, Prime, if there are a bunch of options out there, then it really doesn't matter. Yeah, if there's a bunch of options out there with racist and non-racist and the same level of price and same level of quality, then yeah, sure. But oftentimes that's not really the case. A lot of times, especially when it's popular hotspots like Miami, a lot of these the dates that you want is sold out, and then you really have to pick like kind of like further off places that's really cheap or close places. And it's just limited options happen in many ways. If you're
I was talking about that.
Wait, let me add to this because like DO1, like spot on. Like for example, Miami. I went to Wynwood, Miami, and the only place I can get in the city, like near like downtown, is I had to be in a fucking house. And God forbid the person was racist. And then I moved when the city I moved in, big baseball city. I came during spring training. Every fucking hotel that wasn't stupid expensive, right, was booked out. But the Airbnbs, pretty decent. So I was like, nah, I just can't play this game. It's like, it's not like their profile has a picture and it says, "Hi, I'm racist." Like, no.
Yeah,
it's
no.
like, it's like,
No, like I brought this up.
I just said I would let them reject me.
Yeah, but you can afford to because you can afford to. Let's imagine you're a poor person though.
I brought this up earlier. Like, if I get there and I'm like, "Yo, shit's fishy here. I don't want to stay here." I'm gonna take that L. Like if Airbnb got that shit, like where it's like, yo, you can't cancel right on the spot, because like you're right, B-more, they don't got the profile that goes by and says, "Hi, I'm Joe, I'm a racist." Like they don't have that. So like, how am I gonna find out until I get there and like interact with these people? Unless they're like the killer.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Prime, I have a question for you.
I'll answer that in a second. But you don't understand what I'm saying. It's not that. It's that. As it stands, the racism comes in the fact that they're rejecting black applicants, that they are like at a higher rate, like certain people with our skin color are being rejected, or with a name, are being rejected. So that's what it is. You don't even walk into the house. I'm saying I'm fine with being rejected, because if you guys don't want me there, I don't want to be there. But okay, go ahead, Azzy.
No.
As we want me, go ahead.
If you had you're moving, your life has changed, you have to go, out of state for a potential job opportunity, and you have to interview, and it's out of the way, but the Airbnb is right in your proximity, it's right within your price range. It doesn't, hurt your pockets. Would you stay at the Airbnb in order to get that, potential job?
Again, this is, you're looking at it the other way, right? The point is that I would be rejected if, it's not like, I'm putting the choice in the hands of a racist, right? Like, if they don't want me, then that's fine, right? Then they will simply reject me. It's not a matter of me wanting to go. How would I know? How would I know until I got there? Obviously,
what do you mean by reject? I thought the premise of the experiment was so that they can't reject you before they get in the door. Like they don't know who you are. They can't see your face. It's till you book, right?
Yeah.
Till you book.
And that's my point, Prime. My point is like, if you hate black people this much, you can cancel me after I book. Like you cancel me. And not only that, if we make this environment as hostile as possible for racist people, maybe if they hate us that much, they'll stop listing their properties.
But that's not true. They're never gonna do that because
here's the
people need
thing.
money.
No, but
Wait,
yeah, exactly, and that's the point. And if they need money, then they're gonna have to take mine. They're gonna have to simply deal with it, or they could simply cancel my reservation and take the derogatory mark in their account. My whole point is, I don't think when it comes to policy, proposals, anything, I do not want to cater to idiots, right? I don't want to cater to racists when it comes to like policies and all that. Like, nah, fuck them. If this, I think this seems like something they would not like, right? The racists would not like this policy. Therefore, I want this policy.
I think if we were like, if this policy didn't exist, like, and like, you know, these racist actions continued, like, oh, we would be like wondering, like, yo, why is AirBNB capitulating to the racists? Like, they're taking the action that like we all kind of asked for. Like, I'm not about to like beat them over the head with it. Like, yeah, like the racists don't want to take my money. They can opt out of the, you know, this fucking charge, and like they don't have to take my money, like be more said. But like for the company as a standpoint, it's like, yo, y'all taking a really bold step, and we gonna see if it fucking work, because it might not. We gonna see if it work.
And I think it's a low chance of racism going on, right? You're saying you don't want to give a racist money, but ultimately it's benefiting you the most, right? When you're using it's like, and I think in most cases, if you're using a space for a housing situation, a living situation, it's most likely because you need to, right? And so when you're buying it, it's just you really need to. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. So you do it because you need to, and that's a huge benefit to you. So like, you give a racist a few $100s, right? At the same time, it benefits them money wise. But it kind of hurts them because they don't want you there anyway, right? So you're also hurting the racists at the same time. So you're like sticking it to the racists while benefiting yourself.
I don't know. Like I said, I think that I am willing, if the cases are similar, and if AirBNB had some option that would like, which this would never be ethical, but like to tell you the race of the homeowner, like I would pay an extra few bucks a night to stay in the black-owned
yes, the Umar Johnson rule.
Yeah,
I mean, you could just see their profile picture right now.
His name.
That exists right now, though.
Yeah.
Does it?
I mean,
I don't be staying in Airbnbs to be completely honest.
I go stay with them. Just off the rip.
Well, I don't do like rooms. Like, if I'm staying in a place, I'm usually getting the whole place. But
Smooth, go
the
ahead.
house owner is black. That helps out.
Smooth.
Poor people have to rent rooms. The last two Airbnbs had to get rooms.
Smooth, go ahead.
So yeah, with the homeowners, like when I see the profile and I see it's black, like I go stay with them instantly. Like they have a leg up instantly just because they're black, and I'm automatically more comfortable. Like I try and limit my interactions with racist people as much as possible, and the possibility of them being racist or me being uncomfortable. But then when you get to that other side of it, where you end up in an area where everything's booked up and the only thing's open is Sally Sue's back room, you know what I'm saying, for $50 a night, like I need Sally Sue back room, you know what I'm saying? And if Sally Sue just happens to be racist, like, you know, that's a bridge I gotta cross when I get to Sally Sue's back room. But for now, I need a roof over my head, so I don't sleep in the car. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people are like missing that point. Like your options, like if everything's booked up and it happens to be Airbnb and there's that one room, like you kind of gotta bite the bullet or sleep in your car.
I feel like before you travel, I don't know. I feel like before you travel, you sort through and like you go through multiple places. It's never like I'm planning this trip on this day and like there's only one hotel available. I mean, I see where y'all coming from, but like
yes, but
generally
that's only if your price range is that wide. You're not thinking about it from a poor person's perspective. You're thinking about, oh, I can afford multiple.
Bro, I am a poor person. Like, yeah, when I go on a trip, I plan this shit out, and amongst all of the poor people options, I plan for the poorest option I can find. Because you're right, I'm a cheap motherfucker. I want to save money, so I plan extra hard because I don't want to be swindled.
Right, and I'm saying
So
you're
what-
limited when you're poor versus not. That's what I'm
Poor
trying to
people
tell them.
usually plan trips like months in advance. They don't. Poor people don't like oh yeah, I'm going somewhere on a whim this weekend. Like they don't have extra money to do that. So usually you're gonna have more time to like pick between more places.
Hey man,
Like,
when's
Y'all
the last
ain't
time you've been
never-
in college?
y'all never got to a hotel
Yeah, there you
and ended up-
go. Hey, what's the last time you
College
been
is
to
a
Miami
different
when you
kind
shouldn't
of
have been to
poor.
Miami?
Come on,
So
dude.
wait,
People-
y'all never
I
got
must
to
have been
a
super
hotel and they
poor.
were overbooked?
Huh?
Y'all
Would
never
you-
got there and they were overbooked?
Oh,
And they were like, hey,
Airbnb
sorry,
can't
man.
overbook. What are you talking about?
No, I don't know.
well,
I
he's
don't know.
talking about
hotel.
hotels and stuff in general.
Yeah,
I've been
like,
to
y'all
an
never
overbooked
Oh
went to a
yeah,
hotel.
yeah,
and they
yeah. I've
overbooked?
been to overbooked
You're
hotel.
overbooked. Like, hey, we're overbooked for the night. We're sorry. We can't accept you.
But they usually pay to move you.
No, I've actually
No,
I've been in a worse situation. Check this
At
out.
all. They just be like, we're sorry. Like, we
No,
can accommodate you tomorrow night, so you got to go find somewhere else for the night. I've
Yeah,
had that happen to me.
I've
What'd
had
you
something
do?
a little worse. That's on a little worse. So
I
when I
just went
moved,
across the street to the other hotel, but that's because
Yo,
I
they
had money
hit
to do
me
that.
with that shit. They had to try to hit me with that shit with my friend's wedding, where it's like I came in, I was on the wedding block, and then they were like, "Sorry, like we overbooked for this," and it's like,
Yeah.
and they're like, "We can get you for tomorrow night," and it's like, "I'm the DJ for this wedding. You're gonna put me in a room, or
Oh,
the bride is going to flip."
You just
And
hit them
then-
with the quick, like they hit you with the, oh
Right.
sorry, we overbooked. No, you didn't. You have my
No,
room
and then
there.
like, and then
I
what
know it's
happened was-
there.
And then what happened was she was like, "Oh, there's really nothing I can do," and I'm like, "All right, bet." And I called my friend, and then I see this angry ass woman. I'm gonna say white woman because my friend is white. White ass bride. She went full Karen on this woman, and I'm just like sitting back there going, "Good, good, good. This is how black people feel when the NAACP represents them. Good, make the fire burn hot." And then all of a sudden, there's a room that appears, and it's like,
Like
"I'm
magic.
sorry."
just like magic.
Hotels actually don't fill up just for like a tip. Like hotels always save room for like special people that come into town. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know that. I didn't know
Mm.
that.
And then
No,
like,
like
yeah,
I said-
Red
Hey,
Harley,
Joe, they
it's
kicked
like-
another.
All of them,
Yo,
not all
yo,
of
Joe,
them.
they kicked out
Certain
another black
ones
person,
save
bro.
room.
You're fucked up.
I know.
No,
I
like
know.
I-
I was
like
in,
I
I
said,
was in
like-
like
but they
I was
even
in
leave like
central
break
ass
room for
PA.
like the people who work there. They always
that-
have a room or two that's
That's
like,
that's why I said, like, you get to a hotel and they tell you you overbooked. Like, you tell them outright, like, no, you didn't. You have my room there. You can make space, and that's what you're gonna do. Oh, like, well, nah, you're not gonna pay me something extra. You gonna find me a room. Like, I don't care if it's an upgraded room. Y'all gonna find me somewhere to stay. Especially if it's like that long ass
we-
trip y'all talking about. I had that happen. It's just like, no, you're not.
we get that shit. We learn that shit in movies. The movie's not sold
Yeah, so-
out. There's seats in there.
Yeah.
I know
Really?
there's seats in there. Like you
Yeah,
walk, it's not the seats that you might want, but there's seats in there.
So,
Oh, you talking about the
So
like
how-
the wheelchair seats?
Smooth. Go ahead. Smooth.
Jesus.
Smooth. Go ahead.
I think y'all are missing how like a hotel ends up overbooked, because what ends up happening is at check-in time, they have a certain window where check-in time is actually cut off, and they actually can put somebody else in that room. If you arrive later there, then it can end up overbooked, and they actually could not have a room, like legitimately, just because of their own policy. Like that's what happens.
I mean, they might
Like,
not give it
arrive,
to
let's
you.
say check-in is at 3 and you arrive at like 9:30, you could end up just screwed.
Why you there 3 hours late?
So, yeah.
Delayed flight,
but,
canceled flight.
So
Exactly.
okay, so I wanted to like get back at this. So what about also for a job interview or just a job in general, right? Is it the same calculation for you if you have a boss that don't like black people, and this is now
Right
going to be
into
a space that you are going to spend like a third of your life, with these people, dealing with like their nonsense, right? They may not fire you, like for being black. They might hire you, right? But the fact that they don't like you and are going to make your time there miserable, is that worth it? I mean,
Yes.
if you have
Stay
an
there.
option.
Fucking lootly.
Yeah,
It depends on if
I,
it's HR.
I
Stay
will
there,
say this,
record it,
I-
and then sue the fuck out of them.
No,
for,
no, fuck that
harassment.
shit. I've actually worked jobs like this. A lot of fucking construction dudes, like, they just spit off at the mouth. Like, yeah, 100% is
you
worth
told
it,
me so.
depending on what that fucking pay is. Like, I went to work for like 3 summers in a row with a bunch of white dudes who all they did was they talk shit about me. And I was like, Mexicans? Them goddamn Arabs? bitch in the blacks, because they had a problem with all 3 of them groups. And like that was 3 of my summers. And you know what? I spent 3 of my summers like having my fucking headphones in every so often, engaging them, trying to push them back a little bit. And I did on a little bit of shit, not all of it, but a little bit of shit. And then collecting my pay, because you know what? Construction pays really fucking good.
Yeah,
and for
some
those
fucking
3
idiot.
summers, I was a baller. So yeah, it definitely is worth it, because I was able to buy the shit I wanted. I was able to spend time with the black people I wanted to, get all the computer shit I wanted to spend time with some of y'all motherfuckers here. Like, yeah, it was 100% worth it for me, because at the end of the
Aw,
day,
thanks,
it was
man.
a job. When I was doing my job and I wasn't on break, I didn't have to talk to these motherfuckers. I wasn't supposed to talk to these motherfuckers. And I took that to fucking heart. On break, congratulations. You want to give me a cigarette? I'll take your cigarette. And that bought you 5 minutes of me listening to your shit. And that's how
Have
I
you-
divided it up.
Prime, have you never heard or seen those memes where it's like, oh, cotton picking, they paying like $30 an hour, $50 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever hour, and they're like, shit, yes, master, I'm finna pick some cotton. Like literally, people are saying, if you pay me enough, I'll suffer a little bit of racism, or even a lot of racism. So yeah, people
This
are.
sounds like
You pay me
this sounds
$150
terrible.
an hour, I'll do the fucking reenactment for you.
No, you say this sounds terrible, but like when it happened to me, I couldn't pretend like I had a choice. I just simply couldn't pretend I had a choice. Like,
I
I
think
needed
that
a
there's-
job,
You-
I had bills, and either I get a job or my credit score is about to take a nasty
Like
hit.
what?
And
Like
God forbid, I would have never been able to buy my house. So guess what
I'll-
I did? I did
I'll
what I had
say
to
it
do.
for the I'll say it for the second time on this panel. Let's not pretend we do these like highly moralistic decisions when we make everyday life choices. Like I'm not thinking
could've
about
pretended
some
I
of
had
the
a choice.
moral shit I do here on the panels when I'm like out buying shit from
It's
Amazon.
not about
I
morals.
know-
I'm not asking about
It is-
morals.
it is- I would say- I would
say
that's
it
about,
is
are you
moral.
comfortable?
But I'm not asking that. Well, you can. I mean, if you want to judge us on the moral, I'm not asking about that though. It's like, do you want to suffer that kind of abuse for again a third of your life? Because that's how much time people generally spend at work. A third of your life.
That's what I wanted to speak to, because I feel like there's a difference
nowadays
between-
people change jobs so often,
Thank
like
you.
every
I did
1 to
change
2
jobs.
years. Like I've gotten 3 jobs in the past year. So
I think that might be a little excessive, but like generally, like I think there's a difference. There's a difference between whether this is someone who works in HR, whether this is coworkers, what Pyro was talking about, or whether this is like my direct supervisor, who's doing this hiring. Because I would have different answers to those questions. Like, if this is just HR's races, I mean that's probably bad for the company overall. But like that doesn't necessarily mean that my work environment is going to be super toxic. But if my direct supervisor is like blatantly racist and they're like they didn't want to hire me in the first place, I think that could probably be problematic, because I'm going to be held to like a standard that's like I know is unhealthy, like unfair compared to my other coworkers, and it's probably going to lead to like bigger issues like
This is why I
long term.
brought up- This is why I brought up my construction experience, because like with a lot of those things, at least here in Western New York, it's like the people, like your workplaces aren't the people that hire you. So like you could be billed in like a fucking Wendy's somewhere, and though you're not working for like that Wendy's corporation, you're working for like a fucking outsourced group or like some fucking construction company. And a lot of times those dudes are on the site with you, like the supervisors who are also HR, because like, hey, that saves money on the fucking corporate role. Those motherfuckers are there with you. And a lot of times, like, yeah, they will be racist right along with their coworkers saying this shit, and then they'll go off and get coffee or some shit. So like that experience specifically, where it's like, yo, all the way up to the top. Yeah, I've had that. Like I've had to work job sites with niggas like in ghetto neighborhoods talking shit about the black people around them, keep my head down, and then like the next week go to another job site.
I mean, I grew up in the South, so yeah, that's like an everyday experience. I'm positive every one of my coworkers voted for Trump, but like that doesn't like. But I think there's like an extra level of like blatant hardcore racism that I think can be uncomfortable if it's your supervisor. But like if it's not if it's a equal level coworker, or if it's like it's an HR that I'm HR member that I'll never see, then I wouldn't
Chad the
care.
janitor. Chad or Todd the janitor. They just say every once in a while they hit you with something kind of crazy,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, you're gonna still take my garbage, right? Okay, bet. Sounds good.
Django, do you want to add anything? Oh, we
You're
can't
muted,
hear
bro.
you.
He's spitting right now.
Pro streamer.
No, I think it's mostly covered. I don't really see. I mean, most of the time, I just kind of like let people go off if they're ever if I'm ever in like a situation where I don't really know the person, because people mentioned it before, like I don't really get to decide if this person wants to escalate stuff, so I don't really worry about it too much. I just let people do their shit, and I just kind of whatever. As for the Airbnbs, 9 times out of 10, you're not even dealing with these people.
Exactly.
So it doesn't seem to be a big issue. Like I understand what you're saying, that like I wouldn't want to be in the house where maybe like I'm next door to the guy, but even when you're in the same house, they also could just choose to not interact. So you're dealing with a subset of a scenario where basically the 1 in a million guy who's not only racist, you have to room with him, he's going to be meeting with you, he or she, I guess. And also along with that, they're going to specifically escalate things with you. Like this is an extremely rare scenario that when it happens, we can look at that, but it's probably not gonna happen.
Who's
Really,
escalating things with us? Like that's not. That's
Oh,
no.
so I guess when you said earlier the whole idea that you're gonna be going to this person's house and rooming with them and they're racist, that's kind of the assumption that someone could escalate in that situation. I mean, I guess if you're just talking about them talking to you, which you could probably just, I mean, I guess I've just never had a situation where someone forces a conversation on me. I could just go to the room and not have to deal with them.
So I'm saying that I wouldn't want to be in the house of a person who doesn't want me there. Like if I'm not wanted, that's okay. Then you're free to reject me. And then I don't want to be there. I'm more persuaded by B-Moore's point that they can cancel the booking afterwards, after the fact, like, you know, when my name is revealed through this
Yeah,
experiment.
but they might just not because they don't want to get marked up, right?
Then
You
they
just
better
still
not
need
be
to-
fucking racist.
Yeah, but then you would still be in that situation, right?
Yeah, I would.
Not-
and they
not
would
really,
also be
because it's-
uncomfortable, and I like making racists uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying.
And
like,
I'm
that
also the
doesn't really-
type who's down to be uncomfortable if I make them uncomfortable, but I'm not gonna let them see that I'm uncomfortable because I'm.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fine. I'm just
I
saying, like,
understand
when
what
Prime
you're
brings up,
saying.
like, when
understand
Prime
what you're
brings up,
saying,
Nemo's
Blur,
point
but,
is more
like-
convincing, it's just a different thing.
No, like that's what I'm saying though. Like if you get past B-Moore's point where they're like, you know what? Oh God, I see who this is. I don't want to do it because like they're a nit, and then like they don't block me, and they're like, you
I
know
will
what? Fuck
say,
it.
yes,
I need the
ma'am, I
check.
am a
I need the
nit.
check. Like, yo, I will show up there, and if it's like you make me so uncomfortable that I leave, I will take the brunt. But other than that, yo, you better make that shit comfortable. Like, I hope whatever couch you give me, cause like y'all ain't gonna give me a bed or something. Like, yo, I'm gonna sleep there, and then I'm gonna get my happy ass out.
I was gonna say, Prime. White people care about money. Like they're not gonna risk their cash flow by being really rude to you or racist to you. You know,
Yeah, they
9
be
times out of
taking
10. 9 times out of 10, right? So like, yeah,
Not
the
everyone
scenario.
thinks things through like that. I mean, some people might just spur of the moment do it. You know.
That's why I said 9 times out of 10. Like I don't think
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
majo-
yeah.
the majority of racist Airbnb owners are gonna have the gall to even be racist to you in person or
Yeah.
make you any type of uncomfortable because they care about making money. That's literally
Yeah.
why the city in Montgomery, right? Montgomery, Alabama was like, shit, we need these black people on these buses because we care about this money, right? So, fuck it. You can sit in the front of the bus now.
They can give you a bad rating, right? As a, and that can like bar you from certain bookings. I think that'd be like the one thing that I would say could be problematic. But then they could probably see like some sort of pattern with how they rate people, and probably
Yeah.
be like, maybe this is
Probably.
weird. You know.
The system is definitely an
So-
algorithm. I don't think that like you would have to report that. Like I don't think the system would catch up to like how are they rating black people.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't
Yeah,
think they
you can.
track that.
Okay.
You can definitely make a
That's tough.
ticket. Make a ticket with corporate about this is literally not true. Whatever what they're saying.
It is.
Yeah.
And then God forbid they show their races. I'm gonna give them that 0. Give them that 1 star.
Give them that
Exactly.
1 star with the like, yo, let me get technical support on the line. What exactly was my problem? It was the racism, sir. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna call the corporate line. I'm gonna be that guy.
I'll be that guy too.
I mean, you know, if they racist, they racist. And
Like, at the end of the-
and here's the thing, though, right? If I encounter a racist in Airbnb, I have to report it. I have to, right? Because they're gonna.
It's
give
your
me
moral
that-
right. Yeah.
No, because no, it's just pure. It's pure. It's capitalism. It's numbers. They're gonna give me the bad star, right? They're gonna give it to me. I know they are right off the bat, right? Aren't they? Just assuming. So I might as
Sure.
well get on the
Awesome.
record with the company to let them know, like, yo, I don't know what rating I got. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty low. But let me tell you why this motherfucker is a piece of shit.
If they willing to curb their racism enough to give me shit and give me deals, yeah, sure. You can shut the fuck up enough to curb your racism. I can shut the fuck up enough to like let you get by, and we can make this transaction as easy as possible. But if you do it, and you accept me, and I get there and you racist, get ready for some corporate reviews.
Okay. But sorry, do you have something else for me?
Oh no, I was just curious. I was like, you being from like not the South, like would you like pulling up to an Airbnb and then seeing like a Confederate flag in the on the flagpole in the front yard? Would that be like a deal breaker for you, or is that like, oh, okay?
Unironically, no. I've known several people who are like, no man, this like this is just my heritage. And like I've had talks with them, so I understand like how intrinsic and like Southern culture it can be.
Negative.
I would give them like a half an hour, just a half an hour, and be like, yo, what do you think about Obama? What do you think about like policing in America?
Poke the bear.
So,
Exactly.
No, there's no point. There's no point. I think they built the case for me. I think in this situation, I could take a picture of what I'm looking at. I could talk to corporate, and they can make an arrangement. And if they don't feel like it, I'll call Amex and report this shit as fraud and make my case. I think that's enough evidence for me to tell them that I'm not tolerating this, and they better make an accommodation.
I don't think.
Will budge. To me, that's overt. It's visible, and I think I can make my case. And I think it's in their best interest to support me. And I think they should hook me up and figure something out.
This just feels like so not the South.
Like, yeah, but
It's everywhere. Like, you know how many? I've seen 37 Confederate flags today.
No, like that's why I said that's why I said I'd give the motherfucker 30 minutes, because I'm from the North. I'm a Yankee, right? I don't get that shit. Like, I won the war. Like, for them, they lost it, and that's the last piece of cloth they got. So like, I'm gonna give you 30 fucking minutes, and I will poke that bear, because I gotta be sure. I'm not taking the chance. Like, at night you put on the Klan robes and like gather around my room. Hell no, I'm poking that bear hardcore.
Never. Look, I lived in Mississippi, I lived in Georgia and Florida, and I never seen this shit.
You didn't see a Confederate flag in Mississippi?
No.
Or
not in any listing, not in any damn listing at all. But hell yeah, I seen plenty of them motherfuckers. I have friends that were flying.
I see him on the road.
But here's the thing,
I travel
though.
in Georgia. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think, like, to me, I view the flag as racist. Even though I understand the whole Southern pride shit, I had redneck friends who swore by it. It was nothing but Southern pride. But look, I'm still gonna snitch. I'm gonna sing like a canary. I think it's insensitive, and I think I can build a case, and I think Airbnb need to work something out. That's it. But I also have the money where if it backfires, first off, I'm not paying regardless. I will report it as fraud on my credit card and burn ties with the company. But I'll just book another place in the meantime.
True.
But I would say in the past, for example, when I made my move to Phoenix and I just first landed this job that I have now, or back a few other instances, I couldn't fuck around like that. I couldn't just be like, let me pay 3 times more for one night because I wanted to make a stand. But in a case where it's that overt in front of me, and I think I can make a case, and I think I can make the company look bad, hell yeah, I'm gonna take that chance. Let's do it.
I think it depends on where I'm at, because like if I'm like where you say like I'm going down south for like some like fucking bumpkin roast fest or some shit, like I might second think it. If I'm in like right where I am right now and I'm like I need to go to Cheektowaga or Syracuse for a second. Oh hell no! Like I know what y'all think.
Yeah,
doing,
that would be weird.
Great. Yeah, that's some shit.
I agree with you, Pyro, right? Like if I'm booking a spot in like let's say bumfuck nowhere, Georgia, I'm gonna have to let it ride. But if I'm booking in Savannah, Smyrna, outskirts of Atlanta, Central Florida,
yeah, like
places where it's like I understand you the South, but you ain't really. Like
yeah,
like,
and that's
like,
why that's why I said
like,
I poke the bear a little bit, and I poke it hard to make sure like, yo, you don't even have to give me the most liberal Democrat answers. Just give me something that doesn't say overtly, yo, fuck them, nah. Like that's not. I need something other than that.
But they hit you. My niece got a brown baby. Shit.